Never. Thanks, Bruce. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Everybody good? Billy will be here momentarily.
Any questions? Yeah, it was a good night last night. Bringing a player like Quinn Hughs here, you just don't get these opportunities all that often. Marco Rossi, Z Bouillum, Liam Ogren, all great kids, great players with bright futures. Definitely hard to part with guys that you draft, develop, you spend time with, you get to know them, their families. But like I said, when a player of Quinn's caliber comes available, and you have an opportunity to get him, there's a cost to it, and we were willing to do what it takes.
Rutherford said you brought this idea to him probably 5 to 7 days ago. Is
Yeah.
that accurate, and why that timing?
Yeah. I was actually flying home from a scouting trip a week ago. What's today? Today's Saturday, yeah. A week ago or Monday, a week ago Monday. And I just called Jim and just we you know, obviously Jim and I have a relationship, and we chatted about it, and he told me what they wanted to try and accomplish with the move, and I felt we could satisfy their needs, and we did, and that's why it's great. You know, Jim and Patrick are friends, guys that I've worked with in the past. I know how they deal with situations like this, and they get right to the point. And I think that's why it worked so well.
What was it complicated, just putting the package together, Bill, or just how did you get to the finish line? And it sounds like Quinn had some involvement or was aware. And
yeah, from what Jim tells me, you know, obviously, like, listen, when you're dealing with players of this caliber, guys that have done so much for your organization, you know, I think, and that's why I love Jim. Like, you want to do right by the player as well, but you have to the first thing is accomplishing what you need for the team. But then there is a human element to it, and I think we satisfied, you know, both parties, everything in that.
Did you get any assurance, Bill, that he would re-sign, and how does that factor into putting a trade together?
Listen, you can't make promises, like, you know, and after the deal done, talking to Quinn and Quinn's agent, like, but I think Quinn will really like it here. I think this is, he's a hockey nut. Like, he watches every game. He knows what's going on in the league, you know, getting to know him through the Four Nations process. He just loves hockey, and I think there's obviously no better market than Minnesota to be a hockey player. And you know, I believe in our team and our culture and our organization and our market, our fans, I mean, hockey's in the fabric here, and I think he'll really like it.
You've already shown him, it seems, enough, though, for him to not have completely vetoed the idea, right? I mean, how proud are you of that this was a place that he's like, yeah, you know, let's give it a go?
Yeah, I'm very proud of. Look, I love Minnesota. Our players love Minnesota. This is a great place to play, but no matter what, whether you have good weather, good taxes, good, I don't know, whatever, hockey has to be good. The hockey has to be. You can live in the sun. You can, you know, live in these great places or make a little more money, but if the hockey's not good, you won't be happy. So that's what really matters. If the hockey is good, if your job is good, you will be happy. And I think Quinn will be really happy here.
Is Quinn here just yet, or?
No, we're going to, Chris Kelleher and I are going to fly out and get him and bring him back. He'll be in the lineup tomorrow.
Does it help with that selling him on Minnesota that it's going to be below zero when he gets here?
Yeah, that's a big time. He's going to skate on one of the lakes tonight just to loosen up.
Are you going to go after the game, though?
I'm going to go right now.
Right away.
Yeah.
Will he start with Brock Faber?
That's up to John. Yeah.
You said since the summer you finally had some flexibility cap-wise to go after some big players and during the season. Like, how much was, like, something like, I don't know if this player was in mind, I guess, but, like, how much is that just a reflection of what you were talking about then? Have the opportunities to have something like this? Yeah, it's like I said this summer, like, we didn't make any, you know, well, according to you guys, we didn't do anything this summer. But, you know, it's nice to be in the game, you know, and we weren't able to do this for the past 4 years. So it was nice to just, you know, you throw your hat in the ring and put your best foot forward. And like I said, it's nice to be in the game. With the way the free agency goes now, with salary cap going up, everybody has money, I guess. Like, how much this is the way to get these kind of special players is a trade versus like waiting for July or something like that, you know, to get something like this done. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one way. You know, with the cap going up the way it is, you know, it's definitely made it more realistic for teams to sign their own players and makes it a little more difficult, free agent wise. So when, like I said, when a player of this caliber becomes available and you can get in the game, and you're serious, it's just it's good to be involved.
So what does this say just about the Stanley Cup potential in the window for this team, the message that it sends, and just how much in mind knowing you're going to have to compete against the likes of Colorado and Dallas, so how much does that factor into what you believe this team's potential is now?
Well, I mean, I've always said I believe in our players. I believe in this team. I believe in what we're doing here. And I think adding somebody like Quinn, I think the guys are happy. And you know what? As for, listen, we have an extremely competitive division. You're going through the meat grinder here, and you know, we respect our opponents, but we want to do our own thing too, and we want to be we want to compete for the Stanley Cup.
While we were in Vancouver last week, between that and your scouting from Milano, just how much had you watched Quinn this season?
I haven't seen him play live, but I think I know enough about him. I think the whole world knows enough about him to understand what he is and who he is. And like I said, like, he's a special player, and these opportunities don't present themselves all that often. But so we feel fortunate, and I just love the way the deal went down, because I really think we got what we were looking for, and I think Vancouver got what they were looking for. They got 3 really good young players that are going to help build their team, and we got, a franchise defenseman.
What's Quinn's reaction? You're just talking to him.
Yeah, he's really excited. Yeah, he's such a great kid, and like I said, we through the whole Four Nations process last year with him kind of maybe being ready. We talked almost every day through that process, so we got to know each other, and all he wants to do is win and be a part of something special. So he's really excited, and I think we have a really unique bunch of guys in our locker room, and he'll see how we operate, and how that group of guys operates, and from the leadership, from Spurge to Moose to Kirill on down. It's a really good bunch of guys, and they play for each other, and I think that's what he's looking for.
Where do you think you are up the middle now, Bill, and how much is this maybe also indicative of your off's growth so far?
Of what?
Your off's growth.
Yeah. I mean, Danila's really. Danila keeps getting better and better, and I think that's what really made it possible. I'm not worried about our center depth at all. We still have flexibility, so who knows what we can do in the future. But I'm really comfortable with where we are.
You said with Rossi's moving on, you're losing a little bit of that production that he brought. But just how much does Quinn Hughes really tilt the ice and bring that as well?
Well, like I said, that's why this deal just works, because Marco was a big part of this team. He could play with Zuki and Kirill. He could play with Moose and Trenny. He could play anywhere up and down the lineup. He's a smart player. He produces. 60 points last year is not easily replaced, but we're also adding a guy that has had a 90-point season as a defenseman, and the way he runs a power play, just the way he moves a puck, and I think it's a win-win.
Could this deal have been done without Zeev as part of it? And I know you.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's something that you kind of.
I don't think so. And look, I love that kid. I mean, he's a special he's a special kid. He's a special human. Like getting to know him and his family, and Vancouver got 3 really good young quality guys, and if Quinn Hughs wasn't available, they'd still be here, and I was totally fine with that. And but like I said before, you have to give something to get something.
Why do you feel like this was the right moment to kind of push all the chips in and acquire a guy like Hughes?
Because it's Quinn Hughs. And if you wait for I don't know what the right moment is, but if you wait for it, you're going to miss it. I don't know if the weather had to be warmer or something, but no, when it's a player of this caliber, the right time's always now.
Bill, you talked about that in the past, like you've called it, it's just a feel to know when that right moment will come along, and just now in hindsight, just how happy are you that you were patient, and you didn't try to go for this sooner, because you probably wouldn't be in this position now if you tried to make this move 2 or 3 years ago.
Patience isn't always one of my strong suits, but maybe some things didn't work out, like other deals probably didn't work out, and it just fell into place. Like I didn't have this grand plan of like, oh, I'm going to wait 3 years and then bang, I'll do it, right before Christmas in 2025. No, it just became available, and like I said, we just wanted to be involved.
Like really the last week, like even at the beginning of the season, when his future became kind of unclear,
No.
not even in camp
No.
or anything, yeah.
What made you decide to give him a call that day, whether it's in the airport or wherever like that? When
I was in New York, and Matt Sells called me and he says, hey, this sounds kind of crazy, but maybe give Jim a call. And I give Matt a lot of credit with just, he pushes me, so does Chris Kelleher and Mike Murray. They push me. But Matt made the call, and he's like, this might sound nuts, but maybe make the call. And I did.
So it wasn't Christmas in July, it's Christmas in December
Christmas
now.
and Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you confident, Bill, from not maybe knowing who else was inquiring and what they could put together? Did you initially just think that you could stand out as a suitor? And feel
I don't know what anybody else offered, but I know. Hey, look, with like I said, with players of this caliber, you cannot screw around. There's no. You're not going to fool anybody. I mean, Jim's been doing this for 40 years. Like, I know Patrick. They do their homework. They know. So we had to go to them with something real right away to tell them that we're serious.
was this
And
I'm sorry.
that was the initial offer.
So there's no probably not much back and forth then. It was just kind of like.
No, I mean, Jim had other options, and he had to, kind of see things through. I don't know, who he was talking to or what his process was, but we came out of the gates with that because they wanted to check certain boxes, and we had to check them for them. That's the only way it gets done. It doesn't. We're not going to sneak one by them. They're smart. Like I said, Jim's been doing this, since before I was even a player in the league. So I'm not going to fool him.
Amongst the tools in Quinn's arsenal, obviously the leadership component too. How great is it going to be to have that presence in the locker room?
I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, you can never have too many leaders. I think Quinn too, with, he's a soft-spoken guy. His leadership comes on the ice in his play. It's always nice to have another leader in your room, and you know, they come in lots of different, you know, shapes, sizes, forms, you know, whatever, but he is a leader.
The team is in a unique position, Bill, just with before the CBA switches in terms of what you can offer, just how much, I guess, do you think you'll stay in touch with his camp leading up to the summer? Just how much will that be a focus in trying to ignite those talks?
Sarah, can you give me one day? One day, that's all I'm asking for. No, we'll take care of that when we have to. I mean, it's right now we're focused on playing hockey. We'll deal with the other stuff when we have to. It's just like Kirill, you know, like there's a process and we'll go through it. And right now we want to get Quinn here, get him comfortable, get him acclimated to his new surroundings. I don't care who you are. Your first trade's a doozy. You know, when you get to 8 teams, and then it become a little easier. Trust me. But no, the first one, no matter what, is always tough. And but again, like we bring players in here for who they are, what they are, to be themselves as as a human, their personalities, their playing style. We just want Quinn to come in and be himself. He doesn't have to save the world. He's just coming here to help us be a better team.
When did you agree to the deal? Was it yesterday? And like,
Yeah.
where were you when you get the call from Jim? Like, hey, like, let's do this, or
You want the honest truth? I was making meatballs for our Christmas Eve dinner, and Jim called. So I had to take my gloves, my latex gloves off, so I was rolling meatballs, and he told me we have a deal, and there was a fist pump involved.
you get more calls to make after that, right? You know, with Eve and Marco and
Yeah, and those are tough, and they're, like I said, the 3 kids, yeah, they handled it like men, and yeah, they're good. They're good kids, man. I can't say enough about those kids and their character and what I think of them. And like I said, if Quinn wasn't available, they'd still be here. And I believe in them. I still do. I always will.
Those will be the best, tastiest meatballs that you have now on Christmas Eve.
They're really good. They're really good. It's my wife's recipe, and like, hey, I'm just doing the grunt work. Yeah.
Well, like you said when Kirill signed, like great players want to play with great players. So I think I'm sure
Yeah.
picture-wise, you're like that could be a selling point in itself. If you see Matt Boldy, you see Kirill, you see.
Yeah, well, I think for Quinn, yeah, I would imagine he looked at our roster, you know, power play, like, you know, there's Kirill, there's Bolds, there's Zuki, there's Eki. Those are pretty good guys to line up with, and I'm sure they're excited to get him in town and, you know, start walking the blue line.
Given what you parted with, how confident are you that the team still has the assets to make further moves going forward as necessary?
I'm confident. Yeah, I'm confident. I mean, you know, we've built over. This is year 7 for me. So over the last 6 years, we've built up our assets in prospects, picks, whatever it is. We have flexibility in our cap. So we can still do stuff. All right, thanks everybody.
He's in Vancouver now.
He's in New Jersey.
Oh, he's in Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.